Lanka. You're here with me, Amaya, on Good Morning Sri Lanka, and I am here with Jason for the very first time this year. Can you believe that, Jason, that we haven't met each other on the show until it's the end of January?
2014.
2014.
I'm a new man.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah. A lot of things changed. I got a bicycle. So I ride
Yeah,
to
that
work
really
I'm being more
changes a
eco-friendly.
man. I don't know what your definition of man is, but apparently the bicycle changed him.
Men ride bikes.
So they do, of course they
Simple
do.
as that. Well, good morning to you and Happy New Year, by the way.
Thank you, Jason.
I did hold up on my end of my New Year's resolution.
Oh.
I heard you didn't. Apparently you tried to quit chocolates, but you couldn't. And I found out.
Pudding in the
and
fridge.
that's sad.
Yeah, I know what to do. Well, anyway, it's the end, almost the end of
Nice change
January.
of
Now let's
subject.
move on from that. And now, Jason, I know that you're a man who's interested in technology, and
yes,
you work
very
with a lot of cameras and things like that as well when it comes to your work. But what do you know about fraud and cybercrime and things like that?
Well, I know this one guy. I'm not going to name his name. His name's Jason as well. It's not me, I swear. But he does download a lot of music from the internet, and I think that's really bad.
Ooh,
That is
piracy.
super bad.
Very bad. I hope that this Jason, who is not you, realizes that it is pretty bad. But on that note, I mean, cybercrime and fraud, internal fraud, which happens over the internet and over technology, is becoming even more prevalent now that we've moved on into this whole new platform of technology that we have
True.
in our world today, right? And especially when it comes to the economy of a country, at that point financial institutions and banks play a huge role in keeping any economy stable, and when there is fraud happening inside and it can't be detected, then it becomes a problem for the banks, and it becomes a problem for the economy as a whole of any country.
Right.
So how do we address that problem, right? So we have two
What is the
gentlemen with
solution?
us. What is the solution, indeed?
No,
So
I'm really asking, what is the solution? I don't know.
well, I don't have the solution, but our guests today on the show have the solution.
Oh,
and
nice.
So they claim, and we'll find out from them exactly what it is. So we have with us this morning on the show Rafael Mayo, who is the co-founder of Net Guardians. Good morning, Rafael.
Good morning, Amaya.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Sorry,
And welcome to Sri Lanka as well. I
the
think.
audience is half asleep. I don't know. Come on, guys, what are you guys saying?
All right, let's give Rafael a round of
They're
applause. And
half
we
asleep.
also have Ralph Chitong, who is the Director of Business Development, and he is a part of SoftGen, which is a company that is partnering with Net Guardians when it comes to this new software. So welcome to the show as well, Ralph.
Good morning.
Are you usually a morning person?
Yeah, but I'll mention on this New Year theme that, of course, it's Chinese New Year in Singapore, where I'm based. So the celebrations are coming up still.
Yay!
No,
Did you have like New Year's resolutions?
no, I've long since given those up, thank you.
Unfortunately.
A man who has embraced the reality of New Year resolutions. Quite refreshing, isn't it, Jason?
Yes.
All right. So, when we speak about we spoke about internet and technology that's really come up. It's developed a lot. I mean, it's part and parcel of everybody's lives now. And when it comes to fraud in certain institutions, that's where you come in, and that's what Net Guardians is about. So, Rafael, you're the co-founder of this software. Let's hear what it's all about.
Yes, absolutely. So, in fact, Net Guardians is a Swiss software vendor. So we developed a technology in order to catch fraudster. So you were mentioning your friend Jason, who
That guy, yeah.
that guy exactly, who is downloading some music.
Right.
In fact, they are the same type of persons who, instead of downloading music, are stealing money from the bank accounts inside financial institutions.
Right.
And we need to have some policemen in order to catch them.
Right.
And what we have developed is a solution that is the policeman to catch this internal fraudster
Okay.
who steal some money and try to hide all their trace in order to do some bad action. In fact.
Right, so this is, let me get this straight. This is a software that's pretty much inbuilt into the security system of, for example, a bank. It's not automated though.
Exactly. In fact, it's a software, a server that is installed inside the bank,
Right.
and that gather all information from the heart of the bank. We call it the core banking,
Okay.
and from all IT activities. we mash all this information together and we do analysis, behavioral analysis, in order to send alarm and notify the security people, the IT people, or different respondent that there is something that is not behaving normally. And it's how we can catch different internal fraudster that try to hide some manipulation they've done.
Oh, well, so you're the co-founder of this particular software. And let's hear about how it all started up and where did you get the idea? I mean, when did you realize that this product is necessary?
In fact, it started all when I was at university with my associate and former colleague, where we were like kind of geek people developing and having a lot of fun.
Let's all make some software.
Yeah, it was a little bit like that at that time. And in fact, when we started to work for companies and we worked for multinational and for banks, we noticed that there were really some gap in terms of internal controls.
Okay.
And also what has shown the recent press in a lot of countries, in the US, in Europe, when you see big numbers like $1 billion of loss for banks due to internal person. It's from there that we started and thought, okay, we have to do something in order to be able to fight against this pledge that happened in the financial industry. And we started from there. We were 2 people in 2007, and we started to develop a product, and now almost 10 years after, we are really expanding worldwide. There are more than 50 institutions that use our solution, from big names of the top 10 banks to private banks. As we come from Switzerland, there are a lot of private wealth management banks that use our solution. So now we are expanding and trying to fight against different fraudsters around the globe.
So that's brilliant. Now, Ralph, let's hear about SoftGen's involvement with
SoftGen's
NetGuardians as well.
An international global IT services company, and traditionally our expertise has been in the core banking space and core banking process, implementation, support, and the things that go around core banking. I think, as we discussed before, there's mobility in terms of access by telephone, iPad, customer communications.
It's that much more decentralized now, isn't it?
Well, it's much more decentralized, but now that banks have put in core banking, they're looking for the next step. How do you secure the organisation? How do you do cost control? So the partnership we have with Raphael's firm, NetGuardians, fits into our strategy of where we want to take our company. And it's a very, it's a global subject. It's a subject that central banks, international regulators are looking at. And it's very, very topical, whether it be Sri Lanka, Singapore, and all the Asian countries.
So why is it timely now to introduce this to Sri Lanka? I mean, why is this the first country that you've chosen in the region? Let's hear about that. I mean, why Sri Lanka? We're just a very small island nation here in the middle of the Indian Ocean.
In fact, we came in Sri Lanka because we have been contacted by Sri Lankan banks. We've heard about our products because middle of last year we started to expand in Asia from Singapore and surrounding countries, and about end of last year we have been contacted by a bank from Sri Lanka, and that's why we thought, okay, there are some institutions that are interested in our solution, so we'll see how it is a little bit in Sri Lanka. And we organized this week an event with more than 50 bankers that shows a great interest on the solution, and that's why we came here, in fact.
And you're here on Good Morning Sri Lanka speaking about it to all our viewers as well. But now, Ralph, if I can ask you, I mean, we need to find out whether there's a very high level of fraud in Asia and in the region now, right, Jason?
There isn't, though.
I don't know seriously. About internet piracy when it comes to movies and songs.
The thing about fraud is that you actually, banks don't confess. When they have a fraud, banks aren't going to come to the press and say, gee, you know what happened yesterday. And the other thing is that they may not find out for years that they have a problem. And suddenly they find out there's been a process problem, and someone's been siphoning off some money or cents or something from balances, dormant accounts, and that they might get away with that for years and years.
So that's a problem that's present universally, is it?
Exactly. To give you just one number, PwC did a survey about asking all their financial clients if they have been hit by fraud. 90% of them responded yes, which is really high. Almost every institution has suffered one time from fraud. So it's really something global, that there is no pattern from country, so it happens really everywhere. So it's a serious problem that has been. Banks try to stay discreet. They don't try to talk about that they are losing you money.
That won't be good to get for getting clients involved with your bank.
I need to call my bank. But no, seriously, your software, from the sounds of it, it sounds like it analyzes things, obviously. Can this not only be used in banks, can it be implemented somewhere else?
Actually, it can. We have in our own country, like the railroad system, who use our solution, and also some hospitals who use our solution. So there are different industries that can benefit for our solution. But it's true that today our main market is financial institution, where we have the main expertise.
Okay. And do you go on, Ralph? Yeah.
When it comes to software like this, I think something to remember is, there's a saying that there's only $1 in the world, but it goes around very, very fast, right? Velocity.
Yes.
And as technology has changed the face of banking, it really has, and it will continue to change the face of banking. There's more ways to do things. People are less associated with the core of banking, the debits and credits. The machine does it all. So now you need technology that can keep pace with the changing technology of fraudsters. And this is what NetGuardians does. It brings into the world of real time, or near real time, the monitoring against potential fraud.
All right, so we'll be speaking, we have to go for a very short commercial break now, but we'll be speaking more to Raphael and Ralph as well, and maybe we can ask you about whether this type of software could have prevented, the financial crisis in 2008 or anything of that nature. So hard-hitting questions that will be asked on Good Morning Sri Lanka right after we come back from the break.